Mr. Scott Fedler, and I want on another standpoint. This is the criminal actions that led from an officer of the law violating the Constitution of the United States of America, stating that they're going to vote a president into power to destroy the Constitution of the United States of America. That if someone like me, Mr. Mason Scott Fedler, was actually sworn underneath James Comey, the FBI, aspired to go in the CIA, and was granted full immunity, that the rest of Sacramento and the rest of the United States of America are going to willingly engage in warfare to cover up the fact that Officer Scott Jones tried to murder me. Because it's not murder. You're resisting arrest. It doesn't matter if the Supreme Court of the United States of America granted you full immunity. In Sacramento, he's the law. It doesn't fucking matter if you were sworn underneath James Comey and you can't physically get an arrest warrant. They're not going to be considered an insurrection or a group of individuals who grouped up to go against your constitutional rights, put a bullet in your fucking head, then use these lumen boards that if you actually got SSI, or that they're not going to face human trafficking charges going, you're not allowed to take that FBI job. I'm getting away with attempted murder because I'm an officer of the law. You're going to take a different job. It is not human trafficking. It is not sex trafficking. That I fucking push you to room and board that either you get a job, you fucking, take them as family members or whatever the fuck it is, and you stop making that notion that we did traffic Nadia Valicholi away from you. You were going to be a federal deputy underneath James Comey, the FBI. We did try to fucking murder you so that you would be dead and my kid, and that Scott Jones could, point the other kid as a police officer so that he could be the real Mason. What Mason was aspiring to go in the CIA before he was, doctored underneath James Comey in that ER bed for classified documents, which he asked James Comey to classify over the incident that he did. And so basically, Officer Scott Jones is trafficking. He tried to murder me. He's using this notion of you're crazy and using every anti-gun advocacy in California to help him commit murder. So it's not fucking murder because when an officer of the law responds to someone owns an automatic rifle and doesn't want to give it up because they're constitutional, they put a bullet in that motherfucker's head. Then they start, with all these other fucking organized terrorists out there start doing, well, if you're going to do that, I heard that they were all going to get Desert Eagles, so some fucking terrorist tells me on the online chat, I'm going to go fucking, if you fucking think, or basically terrorists going, if you're allowed to own a weapon, I'm going to go buy a weapon and murder people so that you can remember that you're not allowed to own a weapon. Or I'm going to go, or the terrorist fucking states, I'm going to go steal. If you guys are allowed to own a weapon, I'm going to steal the first one you guys have, and then I'm going to fucking murder people so that you can remind you that you should have the ability to have rights, Mason. You shouldn't be able to prosecute Officer Scott Jones. Because I'm going to fucking terrorize you with everything I fucking can. And I'll remind you that everyone in America is on our side. And that, when those criminals commit those crimes against you and all the other shit, and they do all these little Cold War tactics like on the bus and shit, skipping, saying, you either take the fucking job, stop making this insinuation against Officer Scott Jones, or you're going to land in prison, and we're not going to be fucking found guilty of leading a war against you and the rest of the United States of America, seeing as you're just one entity, Mason. And I think America is going to abandon you. They're not going to prosecute an officer for trying to murder you because they're all in agreement of getting rid of gun violence, and that means getting rid of you being able to prosecute Officer Scott Jones for trying to murder you, because if you won't give up your rights to own a katana sword, a fucking real AR-15, a fucking bow and arrow, or whatever the fuck it is, we are going to, or you won't give up your constitutional rights, that if you fucking think you can prosecute us for stealing while you live in these room and boards, or blah, 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 they're trafficking people of their constitutional rights, saying that you have to own your own place. I'm going to remind them, they're going to fucking prison because they've been endorsing murders throughout America with that notion. I don't have to. I could prosecute them for that, actually, seeing as your actions were against my rights and I have rights. They could probably just seize your fucking properties, seize your fucking bank accounts, and then where the fuck do you get that fucking, I'm the landlord, I can control the decision of the criminal matter. Even if Mason's able to prosecute my other client, I'm going to kick him out. No. You lose your property, you lose your fucking bank account because guess what? You're a fucking criminal, fucking committing criminal organization to otherwise traffic people through room and board going, I don't want him here. He's going to tell on me for the crimes that I commit on my property. Good. You want to know why? Because all these fucking criminals, that's what they fucking deserve. They deserve their properties ripped away from them because apparently the law doesn't apply to the people who own property or houses in America. When officers of the law break the law, no. Corporal punishment and all that, they don't apply to them because they're the ones in power. Your constitutional rights, and that's why they're trying to get rid of it. Because one of them states that you can call them out as vicious dictatorships and make these petitions against them.